few months ago, we had Brandon Freytag from the agency Loaded, who represent you on this pod, and you sent a tweet off of me because we mistakenly said that you were a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
And I laughed at it, but I'm actually genuinely surprised that you're not. Just only for the fact that there are people that do the kind of work you do with much smaller numbers that are. Especially when I think about Wine About It and some of the other things that you do on audio, right? Audio is a space I'm super familiar with. The ad opportunity there is massive, way bigger than anything else. Live, it's bigger than streaming, it's bigger than YouTube, etc. I think from a commercialization standpoint, when you think about your content, other than what you were talking about earlier, that the events are the big things that you can guarantee viewership against versus the individual things that you're doing. What is that next step for you commercially, do you think? Because I mean, hell, I'm stunned that you're not a millionaire, frankly.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully someday. I think eventually the goal is to, like I said, make money off of these events. That'd be awesome. But I do want to. I don't know if you know, but Wine About It is dead. I
was gonna ask
yeah,
about
I
that.
do genuinely love podcasting. So I do want to start a new podcast someday. I don't know who it'll be with. I've talked, Hassan and Will have talked to me about joining theirs. So maybe I'll have 2 podcasts at some point. I don't know. But I don't know. So I do want to get more into audio starting in January. This is a bit of a leak skis. Starting in January, I'm starting a new content piece on Twitch/YouTube. I'm starting a late night show, which is going to be tons of fun, I think. So I'm just excited. I'm just excited to keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully that will attract the money. I think money has always been not really a motivator to me, but it's always come along with what I've done. So I've always been very successful at whatever field I'm in, typically like monetarily, I've been very successful because I'm passionate about it. And so the money follows. And so I believe that will happen now. Also, I don't need to be a millionaire, like I'm so happy with my current lifestyle. I don't have to be a millionaire. So I'll just keep doing what I love as long as I can afford a roof over my head and food in my mouth and things for my family, then I'm okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's extremely refreshing to hear, because a lot of I feel like we've seen a shift, thankfully for the better, of a lot of creators feel like they have to milk milk every sponsorship opportunity, good or bad, and to sort of self-enrich as much as humanly possible in the shortest amount of time that they have their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear that that is not a motivating
No,
factor for you, because
eventually no one will watch me. Eventually I won't get any sponsors. Eventually I won't have a paycheck from being QTCinderella. But I'll probably move on to something else that makes me really happy. So that's okay. As long as I have a roof over my head and food in my stomach, that's all that I need. I don't care to, make $1 million now so I can retire next year. Working makes me happy. It gives me purpose. So I think like my dad is in his 60s. He runs a landscaping company, and homeboy is not going to retire anytime soon. It's what gives him purpose. We are the same, him and I. So yeah, I plan on just doing whatever my passion follows, I suppose.
You mentioned, I don't remember you saying this before, and I apologize if you had. I know you'd referenced it, but you said that Wine About It is dead. And I want to ask, rather than recast Maya, and again, I should explain this for the audio on demand people that aren't familiar with the situation. During earlier this year, there was some controversy around gambling on Twitch, and the streamer Trainwrecks accused several people, including Maya Higa, who was a guest on this show very early in this podcast existence, as well as her ex-boyfriend mizkif, of allegedly covering up sexual abuse, which Maya denies that she did. Maya has since apologized for her involvement in that situation, and said that she would be disconnecting from the internet for the foreseeable future, and has gone dark since. For those again unfamiliar, QT hosted a podcast with Maya called Wine About It. I believe it was once a week, or close to once a week. And rather than trying to salvage it with all its success, I mean, it's very successful Apple Podcast feed, etc., which is very hard to build as someone who works in the audio space.
Yeah.
What is the decision to just kill it and move on?
It's not my decision. My only option is to respect her decision. I understand what she's been going through. And all I can do is support her choice. I'm again devastated over it. It's it's not only a podcast, it's a big thing in our friendship. And it's really hard. I'm a transplant. I'm not from California. I don't have very many friends here, and the streamer industry is a very isolating place, and she was my person. She came here once a month. We filmed the podcast. It was an outlet. It was very successful. It was doing more than just being a podcast. It represented women in the space doing something fucking sick.
Yep.
And being good at it and being successful at it. And guys watched our podcast. It wasn't just for girls, and we were just funny and it was good. And so I'm sad, but I can't understand everything she's been going through by making one bad decision of going to somebody's house. And that was the one bad decision. And that sucks. It's really fucking awful. And but there's accountability that she is holding herself to, and I respect that.
That's fair. Yeah, thank you for answering that. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching Visionaries on YouTube. For more content, please subscribe to the Overcome channel.